Hey, Facebook. How you guys doing? Let me just make sure I'm not, I always got to check to see if I'm live publicly or just to my friends. So while you guys pop on, please say hello to me. All right, looks like I'm live publicly. Okay, awesome. So maybe you guys are eating dinner. It's what time? It's 5 o'clock. How you guys doing today? Sorry I wasn't on this morning. I had some things to do. I've been working behind the scenes with a lot of stuff. But actually, as you guys come on, hello, just say hello to me so I know who's coming in. Well, I see your names here. Connie, hi, Lori. So you know what? I came across this video earlier today. And so I want to talk to you all about learning, right? And this video, it was actually a monk, right? I was watching it. It was a TED Talks. And it was actually, hey, Lori, how you doing? It was actually, hey, Connie. It was actually a, Victor, by being an adult and getting curious. Okay, you're answering the question. Yeah, we're going to talk about this question in a second. Yeah, so this is what, let me just give you a backstory behind the question, because this was the question that he posed, and I was like, wow, this is very interesting. Hey, Monique, hey. So, he talked about, like I said, it was a monk, and he's talking about focus, right? Focus, and like how many people don't know how to focus. And he was saying, like, even when he was a child, right? And I like to watch these TED Talks. If you guys don't watch TED Talks, I highly recommend. Hey, Debbie, I got you. I'm going to look at your video in a minute, okay? I had to do some things today. But I got you, okay? My camera is shaking. Okay, it's my hand. I'm holding my camera. All right, I don't have my tripod with me right now. So let me get to the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about. So he talked about focus, right? And focus, and he talked about the fact when he was a kid, right? He couldn't focus in school. They would always tell him to focus at home. His parents would tell him to focus on your homework, and he had a hard time focusing. And how many of you have a hard time focusing on things? Focusing, because sometimes you think you want to get certain things done, and I know I'm guilty of this too, right? You want to get certain things done, and then you get what? What's the D word? Distracted. So he went on to say that really we are so unfocused, right? We are distracted more than we are focused. So if we are awake, we sleep about 8 hours a day or whatever, 7-8 hours a day, right? I don't know. I'm not that great with how many hours do we have left in a day? About 15 or something like that. So about 15 days, 15 hours of the day, we are what? Distracted. And so what does that distraction tell you about yourself? When you want to focus on something and you can't, and you let outside entities, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing, distract you from what you really want to be doing and from what you really ought to be doing, right? How many of you are guilty of this? What? Maybe it's not every day, but we are more accustomed to being distracted. Isn't it something? And I fully believe this, and this is why I am sharing this message with you all. We are more accustomed to being distracted than we are being focused. Because if we took those 15 hours and we literally focused those 15 hours on something, as opposed to being distracted, being blown here, there, and everywhere, blown like the wind, we would get so much more things done. Do you agree? Do you guys agree? I just found this to be a profound message, and I'm like, wow, and the question that he proposed is this. He's like, what was the question? How can you do something if you've never been taught how to do it? So what's the problem, right? We want to focus on things, but how many of us have really been taught how to focus on things? Nobody. They don't teach you how to focus in school. They'll tell you to focus, but they won't teach you how to focus, right? They won't give you any strategies on how to focus. Right. And this was his experience. He said even when he was in school, if he was growing up in this day and age, because he's a little older, he said that he would have been put, he would have had the label of ADHD, right? Probably put on some medication like what they're doing to our children all over the world now, right? Because they don't know how to focus. And so he says also, he's like, hi, Rosalind. He's like, also, they're saying that cell phones are a distraction, right? Cell phones and social media. but they're not a distraction. We allowed them to become a distraction. And this was his theory. He's like, nothing is a distraction. Our cell phones aren't a distraction. Social media is not a distraction. We allow these things to distract us because we're so used to being distracted and we are not used to being focused. So, I started thinking about this and I'm like, wow, how can you learn how to do something if you've never been taught? How can you, what's the other question? How can you get good at something if you never practice it? And I was like, that is so true. That is so true, man. That is so, so true. So my thing, of course, he talked about focus, but my thing is business, right? My thing is online business, home business, strategy, skills, all these things that you need in order to maintain and build a business online. Like, how many people don't know how to do it, but they're trying to do it? They're trying, quote unquote, trying. Hey, Shirley. Quote unquote trying, and you can try something all day long. You can try this, you can try that, you can try the other thing. But if you've never learned how to do it, officially learned from somebody to show you how to do it, how can you really do it? How can you really learn it? You're not learning. You are just you are like taking chances. You're dibbling and you're dabbling, but you're not learning anything, because when you're learning, first of all, you got to be focused, right? You got to be focused to learn. And second of all, you got to do something you have to make it a habit. You got to make it a habit. You have to learn it. You have to do it constantly, consistently. Hey, Marie. So these are the things that, whenever I watch these TED Talks or any kind of video that I watch, I always apply it to business, because when you apply it to business and when you apply it to your own life, I always apply things to my life. I'm like, okay, where am I being distracted? Where can I become better? Because I'm always looking to become a better version of myself than I was yesterday, right? Where am I? Like yesterday, I made a video about giving your power away, right? Where am I giving my power away? Because I'm always looking to improve myself and also sending you guys these messages so that you can improve yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you want to do something great, if you want to do big things, if you want to empower people, inspire people, if you want to make more money, you want to change your life, you have to learn these self-disciplines. You have to learn where you've fallen up short, because nobody's perfect. I don't care how often you see people on Facebook Live. I don't care if you see me on Facebook Live 100 times a day. I'm not perfect. And I don't want y'all to think I'm perfect. Please don't think I'm perfect. I'm far from perfect. I am always improving myself, right? Always. And do I slip and fall? Absolutely. Like, I get into things. People come into my space and, I give my power away certain times to people that I care about. And I'm just like, all right, I got to reel it back in. Right? So, yeah. So, distraction. Yeah. That of course we're going to make excuses for our distractions. We're going to say, it was because of this. It was because of that person. It was because of the, no, at the end of the day, it's because of you. It's you. You are making your choices every minute. You're making your life. You are in control. You have the opportunity to say yes or no. You have the ability to focus. If you're going to sit there and focus on something, like just now, I was finishing up these slides for this webinar that I'm having tonight. I had to focus on that, right? I had to sit there and focus and do these slides, even though Monique gonna be doing my slides soon. About to hire you, Monique. So these are the things, you got to focus on things, and then you got to focus on the right things, the things that's going to help your growth. A lot of times we focus on the wrong things. We focus on things that don't serve us, things that's not conducive to our growth and our development, or the growth and development of other people. So I just wanted to share that with you all, because I just thought this was some very profound questions that you can ask yourself. Like, where am I, wanting to learn how to do certain things, but I'm not learning it. I'm just, going out there like, with like a person fishing or swimming without knowing how to swim, right? Just jumping in the ocean, but not knowing how to actually do it, and, faking it till you make it and trying to figure it out, all the while wasting a lot of time, and then that makes you distract, like those people, which I was one of those people on YouTube all day trying to learn how to build an online business. I was that person. I was looking at this person's video, that person's video, trying to learn from all these different people. They all had different ways of doing things. They all had different strategies. They all had, their own way of showing up online, and not giving all the information. So then you got to go to the next person's video. You got to go to the next person's video. And what I learned was they're never going to give you all the information on YouTube. That's not what they're there for. That's not going to make them money. So, when you realize that, and you realize that you're sabotaging yourself and you're trying to take shortcuts, that's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. You have to learn. And the only person you can learn from is what? A teacher, right? A teacher, a guru, a mentor, a coach, right? These are the people who you learn from. And you can't learn from a whole bunch of different people. When I started out, I learned when I really settled down and I said, okay, let me stop what I'm doing. Let me stop going all over the place and let me focus on this one person who seems like she is the best fit for me right now at this moment, right? You have to focus on one person and let that person be your mentor. Let that person be your coach. Let that person be your guru and follow what that person is teaching. So this way, as you move, as you grow, now you can move along to maybe another person, right? Because you're going to find mentors and coaches along your journey that fit you at the perfect time where you are in your journey, right? So as you grow, you're going to outgrow that first mentor. You're going to outgrow that first coach, but you're never going to forget that person because they're the ones who taught you the basics. They're the one who taught you the secrets. They're the one who taught you how to get to where you are now. So if a year ago you had a coach and now a year later you are ready to move into another realm of your business, you probably get a different type of coach, but you'll never forget the first coach because of that person. That's how you got to the second, the second leg of your journey. So, you have to learn from somebody. You can't learn from a whole bunch of different people. That's why when you're in school, in elementary school, you have one teacher, right? One. Because that one teacher is going to teach you all the things that you need to know. Now, do they teach you everything? No, right? But that one teacher is designed to help you learn a certain thing. You're not learning you learn math from the math teacher. You learn history from the history teacher. You learn science from the science teacher. And this is where your success lies. If you want to learn, if you become more interested in science, now you outgrow that science teacher. Now you go to college for science. You go, wherever. You just go all the way with science and you become a scientist or whatever. But do you see how it all works? It all works in sequence, right? It's not a whole bunch of people teaching you science, a whole bunch of people teaching you history. That would make you a mess, right? That would make you a mess. So it's the same thing in business. Same thing when you want to focus on something. If you want to grow in your business, if you want to grow in your healthy lifestyle or whatever, you have to find one person that's going to teach you these skills, that give you the knowledge so that you can feel empowered. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. If you're not feeling empowered, at the end of each day, you should check in with yourself. Check in with yourself and see how you did throughout the day. Did you complete everything on your to-do list? Did you complete all the tasks that you said you were going to complete? Did you do it? Did you show up and do the things that you say you were going to do? If you didn't, then you need to work harder. You need to see where you were distracted because I think there's more than enough hours in a day to get everything that you need to get done. But are you falling the victim of distractions, or are you taking the time to focus and do the things that you know you need to do? Like today, I didn't go to the gym. And I was like, man, I should have went to the gym. But in my mind, I'm like, let me finish this first, right? And I'm like, I didn't really need to sit here to finish this thing earlier today that I needed to finish. I could have went to the gym. So these are the things, these are the little things, right? The little things that you can fall victim to. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I admit there are times where I fall short, but I don't beat myself up over it. I just be like, you know what? I should have did that. I'm not gonna allow myself to do that tomorrow, right? So don't beat yourself up over it, because when you beat yourself up, that's when the guilt and the shame and all that stuff, and then you really put yourself in a desperate rut. Don't do that. Acknowledge what you did do. Like, okay, I didn't do that, but I did this. But tomorrow I'm gonna do this too. And I still got time to go to the gym, to be honest. But I say all this to say that. I say all that to say this, that you got to learn from somebody. You have to learn, and then you have to put it into practice. Practice makes what? Perfect. But there is no such thing as perfect, but it makes as close to perfect as possible. Because when you practice something over and over and over and over again, just like driving to work every day, for those of you who have a job, when I used to drive to work every day, I knew exactly how to get to work. I swear, if I closed my eyes and drove there, I probably would have got there. If there were no other cars on the road, that's how much of a habit it was. Just like brushing your teeth, right? Where I talked about that the other day, brushing your teeth, changing up how you brush your teeth. But certain things become habits. So if you want to change your habits, you got to put things into practice daily. Daily work makes good habits. So if you want to manifest something, if you want to create something, if you want to grow something, if you want something to become bigger and better, you have to practice it. You have to practice day in and day out. How do you think baseball players get, become famous and make all that money? They practice. Basketball, they practice. They're 15 hours. They're not distracted. They working out 15 hours a day. They are literally. So you have to look at your business as like, I remember when I used to run, I never did the marathon, but I ran up to 18 miles and I used to run every single day. Every day. I mean, if it was snowing, if it was raining, the only time I didn't run if the ground was too icy. But then I would go in the gym and I would run there. I would get on a treadmill or something. But I used to run every single day. Why? Because I wanted to get my endurance up. I wanted to get my stamina up. I wanted to, to beat my time. So I wanted to get a little faster. But I had to do it every day. If I was to take days off, I would feel so out of breath. So that practice helped me to increase my mileage, increase my time, decrease my time, and to do better every single time. So, everything that you do has to have an element of practice involved, and it'll make you better. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised at how far you've come. And that's why one of the things that I stress in my boot camp when I talk to my boot campers is to do a video every day. Do a video every day, every day, because the more you do a video, the better you're going to get. The more you do a video, the better you're going to get. The more engaging you're going to get. You're going to see yourself growing. My first video was horrible. My first video was ugh. It was horrible. But I kept doing them. Right? And now doing video becomes like pretty much natural to me. But it can be for you too. Anything that you want to do, you have to practice. You got to practice, because without practice, it's worthless. So I'm going to continue this on a webinar tonight. Not only am I going to be talking about this, I'm not really going to be talking about this, but I'm going to be sharing with you all some strategies that I implement into my business. Because I know one of the things that most people struggle with is overwhelm and confusion, right? Overwhelm and confusion. They're overwhelmed because, like I said, they're following too many people. They're taking in way too much information. Good, Connie. That's awesome. They're taking in way too much information from so many other people. So that's information overload, and it can cause confusion and overwhelm. So I'm going to be sharing some strategies on what I do, how I create my marketing, so that I'm bringing in people, simple steps, because everything I do is simple. I don't know a lot of technology. I'm not a real tech person. Yes, I've been building a business online for the past few years, but I'm not like a super duper tech person. I'm just not. I like to keep it simple. So for those of you who like to keep it simple and would like to learn this stuff, maybe you've been struggling in your business, maybe you're trying to get your business online, maybe you want to sell some e-commerce, Shopify, whatever it is, I'm going to be sharing with you all the processes that I use to create, income, to create new leads and sales, and, all around the clock. Like, you don't have to be present to make a sale. You don't have to be right there in front of the person. You don't have to talk to the person. I'm going to share with you how to do this. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you want to learn how to put your business on the internet, how to, run it online, I'm going to share with you without all the confusion and the overwhelm, because it can get confusing. It can get overwhelmed. It can get, like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. It can get that way. But when you learn it and you practice it, it becomes easy breezy, and you'll be able to do it anytime for any offer, anything that you want to get out there. That's what I love about it. I love online marketing because the only thing I don't love about it, I'm going to be totally honest, is that, it's a little bit isolated. Sometimes I want to get out there and talk to people, but I don't need to. But it can be a little isolated. But that's why I love events, because then you get to meet the people online that you go to the event or whatever. Matter of fact, I'm trying to go to an event at the end of August. Can't wait. But Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight at 6:30. So there's a link to register for it. For those of you in my boot camp, you can show up, but it's really not for you because you get all this stuff anyway. It's for people who are not in the boot camp, but you guys can show up if you want and watch the webinar if you choose to. But I teach a lot of people this stuff all over the world, all over the world. A lot of my boot campers are here on this live stream right now, and I teach this stuff and in a very private setting, and they are learning all these techniques, all of these skills, all of the stuff that I come on here and I share with you all, but more in depth. They learn it like straight from me, straight from the horse's mouth, one-on-one group. Like I literally sit down with them and make sure that they're doing what they need to do so that they are marketing and that they are getting out there in front of their target audience and making sales, bringing in new customers, bringing in new clients, because that's what it's all about. If you're not bringing in new people, then you are wasting your time. If you're bothering people, messaging people 100 times a day and things like that, that's not effective either. You need a process, an automated process, right? An automated. That's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Not doing this every single day with people. No, I'm going to teach you how to automate your process too. You can do it every single day, but you want to have an automated. Awesome, Angelica. Angelica's one of my boot campers. Woo woo. Will you be gracing how to do a webinar? No, not on this, Marie. That's what I said. This is not for the boot campers. You can attend. No, this is not. I'm not gonna be showing how to do a webinar. When I do that webinar, that's a little bit more advanced. I'll probably do that in a couple of months. I think I told you all that. I'm gonna do that in a couple of months. Teaching. No, not tonight. I'm not gonna be talking about how to do a webinar. I'll do a how to do a webinar in probably after the summer. Well, it's not summer where you are, Marie. Marie's one of my boot campers. She's in Australia. It's summer here. So probably by maybe the end of August, around September, I'll be talking about that, because people do need to know how to do a webinar, and especially my boot campers. So that's going to be something that I really want to teach you all. And I'll probably have a course. I'm going to teach people how to do webinars. I don't know. I'm going to think about it, how I'm going to do it. But I'll be teaching that not right now, not tonight. All right, but I'm going to be teaching people skills, how to hone in your skills, how to sell anything without selling, how to automate your process, and how to put your best foot forward out there on social media so that you are attracting the right people to you. Generating leads and that leads to sales, how to use email marketing, all that stuff, all that behind the scenes stuff that people won't tell you. That's what I'm going to be talking about tonight in the webinar. So it'll be 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is above this video. So share this video out for anybody that you think needs to know this stuff, that needs to learn this stuff. Anybody that you feel like maybe they have a business, they don't know how to do this. Maybe you have friends that you want them to join want them to get on here and see what I offer. Share this out to them, and that's it. But I want y'all to ponder on that. These two questions though. How can you learn something if you've never been taught how to do it, right? And how can you become good at something if you've never practiced? Powerful, powerful questions to ask yourself. So I want you to ask yourself that. How can I become good at something if I don't practice? Practice, practice, practice. So, I ask myself those questions too in areas that I feel like I need to level up in, because that's what it's all about. It's all about leveling up. You got to level up. If you stay the same, you're not going to feel like you're growing. So don't stay the same. Always challenge yourself. Challenge yourself so that you can grow, so that you can become more, so that you can do more things that scare you. Just do it anyway. Do it. Because when you're scared, when you go into the unknown, that's when great things happen. That's when great things happen, when you step into that unknown. Because that unknown is like, oh my gosh, your fears, right? It'll come on you suddenly, but then it'll disappear. And that's when you've learned something new. When you go into the unknown, that's when your brain is learning something new. If you do the same things over and over again, that's when that's what your brain is used to doing. That's what your brain is used to doing. You want your brain to say, aha, where are you taking me? Where are we going? I'm nervous. And you just tell your brain, don't worry about it. Don't worry. We're going somewhere. I don't know where, but we're going. And that's when you start to learn something new. It's always when you're not aware of what the outcome is going to be. That is the sweet spot. So I want you all to think about that. Do something like that every day, something that is out of your comfort zone, that's out of your sweet spot. Because when you do, you're going to step into a whole nother reality. And then that reality is going to help you to become even more of what you really, really want. So, you know, it's an exciting, life is exciting when you think about it. It could be a little scary when you start to, you know, do things that you've never done before. But I guarantee you that when you do those things, better things will come. It's only when you stay stagnant and when you stay stuck in the same old routine that, you know, that you're not growing with. Now, if it's a routine of growth, that's fine. But if it's a routine of the same old stuff, the same old thoughts, the same old actions, the same old, you're putting yourself at a disservice. So I want, you know, all of you to, you know, to level up as I continue to level up and to be, you know, become more, do more, think bigger, and put yourself out there so that you can have different experiences, because that's what it's all about. So for those of you who are going to register for my webinar, I look forward to seeing you at 6:30 p.m. live. I'll be answering any questions. I'll stay on at the end to answer any questions. I got some slides I'll be sharing with you all, and hopefully you'll come away with some new knowledge and some new skills, and hopefully you'll take me up on an offer that I'm going to be proposing. And I look forward to seeing all of you. All right. So hopefully you wrote those 2 questions down and maybe put it on your wall until you figure out, all right, I got this. I'm going to be learning something, and I'm going to be keeping the habits going so that I can continue to create my best life, because that's what it's all about. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Debbie says absolutely. Aha moments. Yes. Awesome, Debbie. Glad you yep, we're posting videos every day online in the group. Thank you, Marie. DKH is the best mentor. I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate you all. Angelica, Danielle is great. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Share this out. And I'll see you all in the webinar. Just register at the link above this video. Okay? I'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.